everyone, this is Samlock24, and before we go any further, I want to remind you to go ahead and keep your phone vertical and click that full screen icon on the bottom right. And so today, I know that I said that, well, let's wait for that, but let's talk about the special weekend missions. So for a limited time, special missions are available to, doing Dual World to obtain gems. You can view the special missions from the special tab in the special menu. So that's a quick little way to get, I think it was like 30 or 40 gems that you can get. All you really have to do is play like three or four times, and you get it. And as far for the video for today, I did say that I was gonna do that I was gonna show you guys that green baboon deck that I've been playing with in platinum. However, I've been extremely busy with work, and I don't want to sound like a cop out, but I am extremely busy with work, and I'm still not done. I'm just taking a break for right now. I still have a ton of stuff that I need to get done, and most likely I'll be working till like 11. So. For now, what I'll show you is I'll show you some replays of me climbing the ladder with that Relinquish deck, and that Relinquish deck is ridiculous. That deck really doesn't care about anything. Let me go ahead and show you a quick glimpse. And it's the same deck that I was playing with yesterday. And I think I've only lost once, and that was that gameplay that I had yesterday with that horrible opening hand. But for the most part, this deck is. I don't even know. I think it needs to be restricted somehow. They need to restrict either the Sonic Birds, the Senjus, or they need to restrict the Relinquish. But it does need to get restricted somehow, because it's just ridiculous on what all you can do and how many times you can play Relinquish. Most of the time you have Relinquish in the first hand, and if your opponent goes first, you can go ahead and summon it, activate its effect, summon a Sonic Bird, and then attack, and then you'll activate Twister or activate a interdimensional matter transporter, and then you'll just win that next game. And I do think that both this deck and Teya's Burn deck need to get restricted before June. Hopefully it does happen, because if you're playing against someone that's paid a lot of money for booster packs, that you're most likely not going to have a chance. And I do buy packs, and that's another thing, is that if you are enjoying the deck or the game, I do highly suggest that you spend $20, $30, $40 or whatever it is on buying packs. I know some of you are underage and probably don't work, but if that's the case, go ahead and keep playing. Just play a lot, and you'll eventually be able to get whatever it is that you need. It's like on my take is in order for Konami to go ahead and make the game itself, it's really expensive, and just anything that's related with graphics or anything is really expensive. And if you're enjoying the game, go ahead and buy a couple packs, and it'll help them out, and it'll help you out too with cards. But that being said, the people that are buying a ton of packs, or that are spending a lot of money on it, do have an extreme advantage, because like you saw that Relinquish. I'm not gonna say I didn't spend a lot, because I think I spent like maybe anywhere from $50 to $80 buying packs. It wasn't all at once. It was like 5 here, 10 there, and then I do buy some of the newer boxes to show you guys in the video. Let me go ahead and start with the first replay, and then I'll just go ahead and keep talking, I guess. So I do spend anywhere from, I think I buy most of whenever they have new packs. There's like a special that goes on, and you can buy like 2, 5, and then 20. Most of the time I go all the way to the 20 or the 29, and that's all I really spend whenever a new box comes in. I don't spend any more than that. And everything else that I get from the booster pack or the booster box, or like mini box or whatever it is gems and that. But I do play a lot, so I do get a lot of gems, and that's the way I get these cards. And just look how ridiculous this opening hand is. You already have Relinquish, and you're already most likely set up for a second Relinquish if you get that second Senju. But yeah, when it comes to buying cards, I do highly suggest that if you can do get a couple cards, it'll make it to where it can improve the game. Whenever you do buy some cards with actual money, it does improve the game. It does allow it to where if Konami sees that it's making money, they'll go ahead and keep improving it and keep getting out more content or pushing out more content. So, and it's the same thing. I don't know if you guys play Overwatch. A lot of people are kind of mad that it's a really low rate to where legendaries drop, and a lot of people are saying that it's unfair for those don't buy loot boxes. But you have to take in mind that in order for any company to make content, is extremely expensive. And if you do enjoy the game, if you enjoy the content, and with Overwatch, it's a whole new, like a whole different thing, because they're actually giving you all these maps and everything and all this DLC for free. If it was like Call of Duty or Gears of War or any other game, they'll charge you $15-$20 just for the maps, and that's not what Overwatch is doing. They're giving you the maps for free. And it's the same thing with Yugi. If you're enjoying it, go ahead and get a couple of packs, and it'll help it to where it can improve the game. And I know a lot of you have said, or some of you have said in the comments, "Oh, you're not free to play. That's BS or whatever." But I do buy packs because I do like the game and I do want to support it, and that's the reason that I do it. So back to the gameplay. So do you see how ridiculous this deck is? So you already have a second Relinquish. This is the first game I haven't even been paying attention to the gameplay, because yeah, that's the end of that. For me, just going on a rant on whether to be free to play or buying packs. And I think that game was like in gold 2 or 3. I can't remember. I don't know if it says on here. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say where those games are at. But I think most of them are like in low gold. I think I'm currently in gold 2 or 3. I'm not sure. Yeah, you got a message. Alright, so if you can see, I already have another Relinquish. Well, 2 Relinquishes now with that second Senju that I drew. And like I said, most of the time you're able to win like the second game. So if you're not playing Relinquish, I highly recommend that if you're gonna play competitive to invest in some of that pack where Possessed Dark Soul comes in, because you will be needing it. And I think that's one of the only ways out to Relinquish, unless you're running Rex. And Rex does have a lot of outs to it. Rex can run Order to Charge, and Order to Charge just completely destroys Relinquish. Also, Michisuda can be really good against it. However, if they suck in your monster, there's really nothing you can do about it. You can't even activate the Michisuda. Mirror Wall doesn't really do anything against it either. And just summoning like a big monster like Bua isn't as good against it. Like, it really does nothing against this deck. I think the only out to it is like Order of Charge, Possessed Dark Soul, what is it? Any other destruction cards. Also, what is it? Magical Arm Shield is actually, it's not game breaking, but it does work a little bit against it. If the Relinquish player just has like a Sonic Bird and a Senju, they just like suicide into each other, or just crash into each other in the Book of Destruction. That's suicide, because otherwise YouTube's gonna take my ads away. Not that I'm making like a lot of money off of it. I'm basically not making anything out of it for now. But I do want to go ahead and keep having that ad revenue in the future, and not be rated like over 18 or anything like that, so I do have more viewers. So right out the bat, we already have the Black Illusion Rituals with the Relinquish, and I am running that Possessed Dark Soul, and I think I'm running 1 copy or 2 copies, I'm not entirely sure, but in the current rank that I'm at, I'm not using it as much, since that I'm not facing against a lot of Relinquishes just yet. And I was thinking in that green baboon deck that I'm making is I put in magic drains to kind of counter out Black Illusion Ritual, and but most of the time the relinquished player does have like a couple copies of Black Illusion Ritual, so they should be able to have an out to that. So I think I'll be changing, instead of Magic Drain, I'm gonna use Magic Jammer, so they don't have so it can actually negate it. But then if they do have that second copy, it's just nothing else you can do. Alright. And I think in this lower rank there's a lot of Kaiba. And there's some Makos as well, I think. Alright, we're at 10. I think this is gonna be the last replay. I do have 5 replays, but I think we'll stop at this one, so to not make that video like over 15 minutes or so. It won't be as long or as boring, because a lot of people, well, me especially, just can't keep staring at like some video for like over 10 or 15 minutes. So right off the start, relinquish already. So in this lower ranks, the opponents just really do not have a chance against this deck. That's why I said relinquish needs to be restricted. It needs to. I think that in order for Konami to go ahead and deal with it, it just needs to go to 1, and then Sonic Bird and Senju can stay at 3, because you have a ton of other options that you can play them with. You can play with a lot of other ritual decks. All right, since that was a short one, let's go. Let's do another one. That was the third one, I think, right? 2, 3. Let's do this one, and then we'll end at that. And so far, like I said, I haven't lost a single game. The only game I lost was that game yesterday, where I just drew a terrible hand. So and testing for it, I haven't really been able to like test against actual meta decks, so I don't know how to do against a relinquished mirror, which I think I should have a little bit of an edge, because not a lot of people are playing Twister, and because all the builds that I've seen online, and that because I did a lot of research into it and see how everybody else was playing, and not everybody's playing that Twister, and not a lot of people are playing Possessed Dark Soul, which I think that if you're going to play in a competitive setting, or if you're going to play in those higher ranks rather, you are going to be seeing a lot of relinquish, or at least I think that you are, because everybody that's trying to be competitive is buying packs, and they are trying to get everything else, or their deck as good as possible, or the best they can at least. So I might be making a room maybe on, I don't know if it'll be next week, before June, I'll say, so we can try out some decks, and maybe you guys can join in. Maybe try to do a room where only relinquished mirror matches happened, or maybe y'all can play relinquish and I can try to play something else, so we can test play and have something done like that. I do want to try out that Rex budget deck, see if it can compete against relinquish. Let me see if I still have it built, so I can show you guys. Farm Comp Fire. No, this isn't the budget one. And see if it does have a chance against something like higher tier, or something that's more competitive. It's another farm deck. UV farm. So I don't have it built, so I'd have to build it and see. I'll have more info on the dual room that I'll create, or I'll try to see if I can figure out a way to stream live, and we can do everything live. I'm not really too tech savvy, so I don't know how that'll work or how it works. So I've got to do some research, but for now I just gotta go back to work, and I'll do the research tomorrow if I have some time before I make the video for tomorrow, and see if there's a way that I can go ahead and stream and make maybe stream like a couple of hours and try to test play. Maybe get people on there that are only playing Relinquish, and maybe just test play against Relinquish itself and see how it works. But for today, that's gonna be it. If you're enjoying my content, I always do suggest that you do subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you didn't, just go ahead and leave a dislike. But I would truly appreciate if you let me know that why it is that you're disliking it. So that's going to be it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.